Judge Gardner, we ready now, sir?
Okay, thank you. This is your first appearance hearing before the Magistrate Court of Clayton County. My name is Brad Gardner. I'm a judge in this court. I'm not here to conduct a trial of your case or to take a plea in your case. I am here to inform you of the charges that have been filed against you, to advise you of certain rights, to set bail on those offenses that I'm authorized to set bail, to schedule a preliminary hearing, and to determine whether you require the assistance of an attorney. You have the right to remain silent and say nothing. But should you give up this right, anything you say during this proceeding may be used against you if your case goes to trial. So please don't discuss the facts of your case. During this and all other proceedings, you have the following rights: the right to the presumption of innocence, the right to indictment by a grand jury for most felonies or by accusation for misdemeanors, the right to a speedy and public trial by jury, the right to see, hear, and question witnesses who are called to testify against you, the right to compel the attendance of witnesses to testify on your behalf, the right to testify on your own behalf or offer evidence in your own defense, the right to have an attorney represent you. If you cannot afford an attorney, one can be appointed to represent you if you qualify. Some of you will be allowed to post unrestricted bonds for your release from jail. And those bonds may be cash, commercial, or property. If you post a cash bond, someone will deliver the full amount of the bond and fees in cash to the sheriff's office. The sheriff's office will hold the cash and return it at the end of the case. If you use a commercial bonding company, someone will have to pay a fee to the company for their service. The fee will not be returned. I don't know what fee will be charged, but it is usually based upon a percentage of the bond. Finally, if you use property to post bond, the property will need to have a net equity in the amount that's equal to at least 3 times the amount of the total bond. Some of you will have special conditions on your bond that prohibit you from contacting certain people or going to certain places. This condition will be provided to you on a separate form. You will also be prohibited from contacting the victim while you are in jail. If you violate the court's order, your bond will be revoked and you could remain in jail until your trial. You could also receive additional felony charges. It is important to note that if someone is listed as a victim in your case, that person will not be allowed to post your bond. Some of you are charged with offenses for which this court is not authorized by law to set bail at this time. In this event, a bond hearing will be scheduled before a judge of the Superior Court of Clayton County, and you will be informed of that date. If you are currently on active probation, this court is not authorized to set bond at this time. Where the bond is appropriate in your case will be reconsidered after your probation officer has had an opportunity to consider this new arrest. The purpose of a preliminary hearing is to determine whether there is sufficient evidence to support the allegations against you. The standard at this stage is very low. A judge determining whether a charge goes forward only has to determine that it is possible that the crime occurred. Everyone has the ability to waive their right to a preliminary hearing. However, you should speak to a lawyer first if you are unsure about whether it is appropriate to waive your preliminary hearing. If you post bond, your preliminary hearing is automatically waived. You will receive a notice at the address that you give to the Sheriff's Department of your next court date. Now, I need everyone to raise their right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter shall be the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay, I'm ready, Deputy Knox.
Okay, sir, one moment.
Excuse me, can I say something to him?
Judge Gardner, this is Miss Moses.
Ms. Moses, okay. Ma'am, you've been charged with one count of battery. The bond is going to be set at $2,500 for that. Do you believe you can post that bond, ma'am?
I don't want no services. I don't want to go to court. I want to stay here at the jail.
Okay. I'm going to set a preliminary hearing date for you, ma'am, for March 2nd at 8:30 a.m. And that'll be by Zoom, like we're having here today.
Okay.
Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
No.
Okay. Well, you're free to go back, ma'am, if you don't have any other questions for me.
All right. Thank you.
Hold on. Stay right there. Hold on 1 second, Judge Gardner, okay?
Yes.
All right. Judge Gardner, we need to do Mr. Shade next. He's gonna have some mental health issues as well, sir.
Okay. And you said,
Shade,
Shade?
SCHADE.
Okay.
Just let me know when you're ready and then I'll get him out, okay?
Okay. I am ready.
Okay, hold on 1 second.
Mr. Shady or Shade,
Yes, sir.
you've been charged with two offenses. One is battery and one is obstructing an officer. You have a total bond set at $6,500, $5,000 for the battery charge, $1,500 for the obstruction charge. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm setting a preliminary hearing date for you for March 2nd at 8:30 a.m. That'll be over a Zoom call like we're doing here today, but that'll be waived if you bond out. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
You do qualify, sir, so I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
I have a few, sir.
Okay.
The first one is that the first charge I did not have. I don't believe I'm guilty of that because the first person I was fighting with, the person I was fighting with, he struck me first, sir. I told him I would not fight him, and then he hit me again, and I defended myself. That's all I did. He was choking me. He has hit other women before at the apartment I was at, and he was choking me to the point where I couldn't breathe. Other people were saying they would not charge him because they were cheering him on. They were saying to themselves, "Oh, we didn't see anything, sir." The other question.
Well, let me answer that question first. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you, and that's exactly what you need to tell your lawyer so that the lawyer can defend you. You understand that, sir?
Sure.
Okay. What's your next question?
The next question is, if I do bond today, will I be able to get out? Because I need to.
Yes, sir.
I need to talk to my father first because I talked to him yesterday. We've done this before, but I don't know if my father will do it, but I hope he does. If I can get him to do bond today, will that mean I can get out?
Yes, sir. I am, when this process is over with the other individuals that I have to address today, I send the paperwork over to the sheriff's department, and then they get it, and they will get you out as soon as possible.
What if I can't pay? What if my father refuses to pay or something? Is that even possible?
If, I'm sorry, I didn't understand that.
My father does not pay because he says I've had my chance. Is that even possible?
If your father, well, let me say this. Someone is going to have to post a bond, and if it's not your father, and it has to be someone else. But if no one posts your bond, then you will remain in custody until your bond is posted. Okay? Any other questions? Okay, sir, you're free to go back.
Come on, Mr. Shade, go over there to the office, to the deputy, okay?
Come on, Patrick,
Go right
put
there.
your hands on the
Put
wall.
your hands on the wall, okay? Put your hands all the way up on the wall, okay? There you go. Hold on one second, Judge Gardner.
No problem.
Mr. Shade. Okay, we're gonna start with the next female. Now we're gonna go back to the females in alphabetical order, okay?
Okay, so we have Ms. Gabriel.
Okay, yeah, that should be the first one. One moment, sir, okay?
Are you Ms. Gabriel? I'm sorry, was that a yes, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Okay, ma'am, you've been charged with 4 offenses: improper turn signal or not using your turning signal. That bond is set at $500. Driving on a suspended or revoked license, the bond is going to be set at $1,500 for that. Violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act, which is a felony offense. Your bond is going to be set at $5,000 for that. And use or possession of drug-related objects, the bond is going to be set at $1,500. So that brings a total bond of $8,500. Do you believe you can post that bond, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, I've set a preliminary hearing date for March 10th at 8:30 a.m. That's going to be over Zoom call, like we're having here today. Do you plan on representing yourself, hiring your own lawyer, or would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Qualified for.
Okay. You do qualify, ma'am, so I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back, ma'am. You're welcome.
Sir.
Come on back over here. Hold on one second, Judge Gardner. Ms. Johnson and Mr. Little. Ms. Johnson, go to the seat. Ms. Little, take a seat.
Good morning or good afternoon, ma'am. Are you Miss Johnson?
Yes, sir.
Okay, ma'am, you've been charged with 1 count of theft by shoplifting and 1 count of abandonment or deprivation of a child. The bond for the theft by shoplifting is going to be set at $10,000, and the abandonment charge is going to be set at $1,000 for a total bond of $11,000. Do you believe you can post that bond, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you plan on representing yourself or hiring your own lawyer? Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Lawyers. I have my own.
Okay. You do qualify, ma'am, so I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. I've also set a preliminary hearing date for March 10th at 8:30 a.m., but that's going to be over a Zoom call like we're having here today. Do you have any questions of me, ma'am?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Wait, I do have one question. So if it's 11,000, would it be like 1,102% if I pay through a bonding company?
Well, the bonding company, they're going to charge a percentage. I don't know the exact amount. The sheriff's department has a list of bonding companies that are approved and authorized to write bonds in this county. So I would suggest that you call each one and see what they will charge you.
Okay.
So that's how you know the true amount. Anything else, ma'am?
Thank you.
Okay, give me 1 second, Deputy Knox.
All right, Ms. Bonds, come back up. Take a cigarette. Just a little move up some. When he comes back, you tell me your name.
Yes, ma'am.
Walker, West, and Zimmerman. Walker, stand right here. There's West, right there. Zimmerman. After she moves, she's gonna go up with my shift. Okay?
That's all.
That's all.
Okay, I'm sorry, Deputy Knox, that was the boss call. Oh my God. Let me see.
Got some Morse code going on there, Judge?
That's the boss calling back. Hold.
Yes, sir.
I was trying to find out what's taking so long. He ain't done it.
Okay, I'm sorry, Deputy Knox, and I'm sorry, ma'am. Are you Miss Little?
Yes, sir.
Miss Little, you've been charged with a number of offenses, 2 aggravated assault charges. Those are both felonies, and the bond is going to be set at $10,000 a piece for those. You've been charged with 5 counts of cruelty to children, and those are all misdemeanor counts, but the bond is going to be set at $5,000 a piece for those. So you're going to have a total bond of $35,000. Do you believe you can post that bond, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I've set a preliminary hearing date for March 10th at 8:30 a.m. That's going to be over a Zoom hearing like we're having here today. Do you plan on hiring your own lawyer representing yourself, or do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Can you see if I qualify for a lawyer?
Okay. You do qualify, ma'am, so I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Thank you.
Go inside, sir. Come on. So,
Hi, are you Miss Sullivan?
yes, sir.
Ma'am, you've been charged with 2 counts, 2 offenses. One is battery, family violence. The bond is going to be set at $5,000 for that. You've also been charged with false imprisonment. The bond is also set at $5,000 for a total bond of $10,000. Do you believe you can post that bond, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Do you plan on hiring your own lawyer representing yourself, or do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
I would like to see if I qualify, sir.
Okay. You do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. You also have a preliminary hearing date set for March 10th at 8:30 in the morning, and that'll be over a Zoom call like we're having here today. Do you have any questions for me, ma'am?
10% of, what they said, 10,000 and all?
Yes, ma'am.
So would that be like 1,000?
Somewhere around there. Yes, ma'am.
That's all. It's fine.
Okay, okay. You're free to go back.
Tell me your name when you come out. Go inside. 6. Tell me your name.
Michelle Vining.
Hi, Ms. Vinings. You've been charged with 4 offenses. 2 of them are violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act. The bond is going to be set at $5,000 apiece for that. You also been charged with trafficking and methamphetamine. The bond is also going to be set at $5,000 for that charge. And you've been charged with 1 count of use or possession of drug-related objects. The bond is going to be set at $1,500. So that brings a total bond of $16,500. Do you believe you can post that bond, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, do you plan on hiring your own lawyer representing yourself, or you want me to see if you qualify?
See
For
if
the-
I qualify, and if I am able to get a lawyer later on, I will.
Okay. You do qualify, ma'am, so I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. I'm also setting a preliminary hearing date for March 10th at 8:30 a.m. Do you have any other questions for me?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, you're free to go back. You're welcome.
Okay, when you come up, go on, Miss Vinings. When you come up, tell him your name.
LaKayla Walker.
Ms. Walker, you've been charged with 1 count of obstruction of an officer. I've set the bond at $1,000 for that. Do you believe you can post that bond, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you plan on hiring your own lawyer representing yourself, or you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Do I need a lawyer?
Um,
Yeah, we can see if I qualify.
okay, you do qualify, ma'am, so I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. I'm also setting a preliminary hearing date for March 2nd at 8:30 in the morning, but that date is going to be waived once you bond out. Do you have any questions of me? Okay, you're free to go back.
All
right. Ms. West, you've been charged with 1 count of theft by conversion, which is a felony, and another count of possession of a Schedule II drug, which is also a felony. The theft by conversion is related to not returning the vehicle from Enterprise Rental Car when it was supposed to be returned. So I've set a bond at $20,000 for the theft by conversion and $10,000 for the violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act. So it's a total bond of $30,000. Do you believe you can post that bond, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you plan on representing yourself, hiring your own lawyer, or do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
See if I qualify, sir.
You do qualify, ma'am, so I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date for March 10th at 8:30 a.m. Do you have any questions of me, ma'am?
A 10% of my bond is.
That'll be approximately $3,000. I don't know what a bonding company would charge. The Sheriff's Department has a list of the bonding companies that are approved to write bonds in this county. So I would suggest that you contact them all, tell them what you're charged with, and see what they will charge you. Some bonding companies will even put you on a payment plan.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, you're welcome. Anything else, ma'am?
But that will be all. You have a good one.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Nyla Zimmerman.
Ms. Zimmerman, you've been charged with 1 count of driving on a suspended license. The bond is going to be set automatically at $1,500 for that. Do you believe you can post that bond, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you plan on representing yourself, hiring your own lawyer, or do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Can I ask a question?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so since it's just like driver's license, wouldn't it be like I just gotta get it reinstated? Like, is a lawyer really necessary?
That's generally what happens. I mean, and I don't know your circumstance. I don't know if there is a lawful defense to why you were driving on a suspended license or anything like that. So those are things that a lawyer would make a determination of. But it's your choice. I don't, you're not in a position where I have to force a lawyer on you. So if you don't want a lawyer, that's fine. If you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer, I can do that, or you can represent yourself.
Okay, that's fine. I'll just, if you could see if I qualify for a lawyer, that's fine.
You do qualify, ma'am, so I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
I do.
Yes.
So I was pretty much, well, the idea of a signature bond, is that an option for me?
That's not an option currently, ma'am. Chief Judge Keisha Wright Hill is not allowing us to do those, they call them OR bonds. So at this time, we're not doing those. So you're gonna have to post a bond,
Okay.
okay? All right, anything else?
Oh, thank you.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Ms. Zimmerman going to 6. Okay, Judge Gardner, give me one moment. I'm gonna set the gentleman up, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
All right, let the judge know your name. My name is Richard Advance.
Sir, you've been charged 1 count of aggravated assault. The bond is gonna be set at $10,000 for that. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, I want to take the bond.
Okay. I'm setting a preliminary hearing date for March 10th at 8:30 a.m. That'll be over Zoom call like we're having here today. Do you plan on hiring your own lawyer representing yourself, or do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Qualify for an appointment for a lawyer.
Okay, you do qualify, sir, so I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
Yes, you said the start date is March 10th.
Yes, sir. That's the preliminary hearing date. Once you bond out, that date most likely is going to get waived. But if you do not bond out, that's going to be a date that's there for you. And the preliminary hearing, like I described before, that's just the determination of whether there is sufficient cause to arrest you.
Okay, and you said the bond is $10,000.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and I can use.
And you can use a bonding company, you can pay cash, you can use property.
Okay, yes, I can use the bonding company.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'll do that.
Okay, any other questions?
That will be all. Will I receive something in the mail?
Yes, you will receive legal process or notice through whatever address you give to the sheriff's department. So make sure the address you give to them is the address that you're going to be staying, where you're going to be staying.
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay, anything else?
Yes, I'd like to see if I can post a bond today.
Yes, sir. That's when the process that we're going through now, when I'm done with everybody, I send the paperwork over to the sheriff's department and they start to process it. And then if in the meantime, you can be contacting the bonding companies and things like that. So when the paperwork gets processed, you'll be able to leave today.
Okay, all right.
Anything else?
That'll be all for now.
Okay, you're free to go back, sir.
All right, thank you.
Go around. No, I just said go around. Come on, Mr. Boykin. Put your hands on the wall.
Mr. Boykin, I don't know if you heard earlier, but your lawyer, Mr. Hazen, was on, and I told him that your bond was going to be denied at this point, but you have a preliminary hearing date set for March 10th. So he is on the case and he's working on it. Do you have any questions of me about this process?
Yes, sir. I wouldn't, like I was telling, I turned myself in and I did not violate this. I did not violate this. There was a phone call made on my phone. My wife returned the calls on the phone, and that violated me because the phone was in my name. And when I found out that they was looking for me, my sister had just passed. You know what I'm saying? And I never did get a chance to bury her.
Okay.
And that's why, and I just wish that, the date could be a little shorter, because, it's hard for me in here, It
And
really-
I do understand that you've done the right thing where you've hired a lawyer. Your lawyer can work on your behalf and he may be able to cut this time down because of everything that's happening with this virus. The district attorney's office, I know they're working as much as they can to not have people sitting around, but it's just going to be a process. And unfortunately, with this charge, it's something that we just don't take this lightly.
I understand, but it is a possibility that he can actually get it shortened, right?
Yes, sir.
Well, I sure appreciate it. But right now, I thank you, for listening to me. And like I said, I never would have came back here, man. It was just that she made the calls to my phone. My wife returned the call, not knowing that she was calling on my phone, and that violated me because she turned it in.
I understand. I really do. And unfortunately, at this stage, I can't make those kind of value judgments. So
Close that door.
you've done the right thing in hiring a lawyer. So I think that's going to put you with the leg up.
Okay, can you recommend that he can show in the days if he asks for him?
Well, he will contact the DA's office and he will be doing that. And that's of course of why you pay a lawyer, pay somebody to do, the work that he's going to be doing moving forward. So I at this stage, unfortunately, I can't do anything other than what I've already been able to do. Any other question?
No, that's all I can ask.
Okay, I would possibly recommend blocking that person so that you don't ever have to have this mistake happen again.
I did, and that's why she didn't know she was calling her back because her number was deleted out of my phone. That's why she didn't know she was calling back. She was just
Well,
returning.
when you block somebody, they don't even, call doesn't even come through.
Not the block part, the delete.
Right. The deleting, you may want to talk to your lawyer about it, but you probably want to block the person so the phone call doesn't even come through and you can't have somebody returning the call.
Okay, is it anything to be done with her? You know what I'm saying? Because she got me in this situation.
That you're gonna have to talk to your lawyer about that.
Okay then.
Okay.
Okay, thanks a lot.
No problem. You're welcome to go. I mean, free to go back, sir.
Okay then.
Yes, ma'am. My name is Kyle Cobb. How you doing, y'all?
I'm doing well, Mr. Cobb. You've been charged with 4 offenses of possession with intent to distribute a controlled substance. One's going to be set at $10,000 for that. Possession of firearm during the commission of a crime. Bond is going to be set at $5,000 for that. Basically being unlicensed after being in your new address for 30 days. Bond's going to be set at $500 for that. And possession of firearm by a convicted felon. Bond's going to be set at $5,000. So you got a total bond of $20,500. You believe you can post that bond, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you plan on hiring your own lawyer representing yourself, or do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
I hadn't had time to decide that because of the circumstances, Your Honor. So I would imagine I would, if this case isn't somehow dropped, because I'm not aware of what you can see. I know it's probably not my turn to talk yet. I don't know if this would be a case that continues over for very long, because I don't know if you're able to see, I have a license and I'm not a convicted felon.
Right.
So I don't know why those charges are, you can't see that, Your Honor, that I'm not a convicted felon. I've never been convicted of a felon. Does it matter at this point right here at this?
At this stage, no.
Okay.
That's the allegation. So unfortunately, it's not something that I make that determination. These are all warrants that were gotten from the Jonesboro Police Department. So
Yes.
these were somebody, let's see. Looks like Justin Zambujo.
Yeah, he had a difficult name, sir. It's hard to say.
Yeah. So this person has been the person that's sworn out these warrants on you. And so that's the next stage. I've set a preliminary hearing date for March 10th.
Yes,
And that's
sir.
the date that the allegations or the things you're saying now, a judge can make a determination as to whether there's sufficient evidence for that to go forward. So that'll be the date that you can actually prosecute your case or defend yourself. At this stage, based upon the allegations and the charges, my job is to set a bond and to see if you qualify for a lawyer. I see you didn't fill out the form.
I filled out the form, Your Honor. I don't believe I put that I was hiring a lawyer, I don't think.
I just have like a date. I have a date that's filled in, but other than that, I don't have the other information. So if you want me to try to make that determination now, I can do that. Or if you plan on hiring a lawyer or representing yourself, that's your decision, that's your choice to make. So I just need to understand what you want me to do.
Well, as of now, I think I'll probably be able to bond out because I have a $20,500 bond, right?
Yes, sir.
And I think I'm kind of leaning towards when I go to the preliminary that I will bring sufficient evidence to show that I have a valid license and to show I'm not a convicted felon. I believe that I'll go from there, depending on that determination that day, that would determine if I want to get a lawyer or if I'm willing to move forward. I think I'm uncertain right now, Your Honor, but I don't know. Do you think it'd be better for you to just appoint one to me until that time? Do you think that it kind of, what do you think?
Well, I can, if you, are you currently employed?
Partially, Your Honor, due to the COVID, partially.
What do you earning per month?
It varies. There's not a set. It can be as little as 500, maybe as large as 1,500.
Okay. Well, you do qualify. I can appoint a lawyer for you. And if you choose to hire your own lawyer, you definitely can do that. So I'll appoint a lawyer and then you can make that determination later.
Yes, sir. I have one question as well. You said I had a $500 bond on what charge?
It was the charge is basically having a license that you haven't changed the address. You're supposed to change your address. If you change your address, you're supposed to change that within 30 days.
But I live at the address that's on my license.
And again, that's something.
I got you.
Yeah. It's just, all I can do is tell you the allegations that are against you.
And the preliminary, we're going to specifics, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, anything else, Mr. Cobb?
No, sir. 20,500?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and thank you, sir. That's it.
Okay, so you have that March 10th preliminary hearing date, and that'll be the date that you can make these defend your.
And that and if I bond out, it probably be later, or how would it work? Would it still be March 10th?
It'll probably be later. Your right to a preliminary hearing goes away when you bond out. However, sometimes you can have that date. So it's just this virus stuff has gotten everything kind of flipped upside down. So I can't like promise that that'll remain.
Yes, sir. Understood. And I do appreciate the time, sir. Thank you so much.
No problem. You have a good day.
You do the same as well, sir.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, thank you. Come over here. Step up and tell me your name.
Samuel Holland.
Okay. Deputy Knox, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Is Mr. Cox OTB?
He is. Mr. Holland.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Holland, sir, you've been charged with several offenses: improper lane change, distracted driving. The bonds are going to be set at $500 apiece for those charges. You've also been charged with driving under the influence of alcohol. Bond is going to be set at $5,000 for that. You have a violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act charge, which is possession of marijuana more than an ounce. The bond is going to be set at $5,000 for that. You've also been charged with possession or use of drug-related objects. And the bond is going to be set at $1,500 for that offense. You've also been charged finally with possession with intent to distribute a controlled substance, which is a felony also. And the bond is going to be set at $5,000 for that. So you're going to have a total bond of $17,500. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to set a preliminary hearing date for March 10th at 8:30 a.m. in the morning. But that date most likely will be waived once you bond out. Do you plan on hiring your own lawyer representing yourself, or do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
I'm hiring my own lawyer.
Okay. Do you have any questions of me, Mr. Holland?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back, sir.
Thank you.
Ma'am? Okay.
Are you Mr. Johnson?
Yes, I'm JV Johnson.
Mr. Johnson, you've been charged with 1 count of criminal trespass and 1 count of simple battery. I'm setting the bond for both of those offenses at $2,500, so you have a total bond of $5,000. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
When you said the criminal trespass, I lived there, and I just had my girl phone, and the other one is when I had my son in my hand and we were just talking. That's it. Like, it wasn't nothing like the officer said I have no TPOs and nothing against me about going back home, and the lady called my grandmother. She called the police trying to verify that I was had to get a 30-day eviction notice.
Yeah, I have not put a stay away provision on your bond, so you are free to go back home.
Yes, sir.
And it was basically because of the allegations. And I'll just say to you, Mr. Johnson, I mean, the allegations of what you're charged with is stuff that people do every day.
Yes, ma'am.
And so just don't want you to put yourself in a position where you can get arrested. So
Yes.
just understand that kind of moving forward, because the criminal trespass, even temporarily taking the phone away,
Yeah, and giving it back.
yeah, constitutes a crime. So, do you have any other questions of me, sir?
How much would that be in 10 or 15%? How much money do you think that?
We're talking possible, and I don't know exactly, but somewhere around $500-600 as it relates to the bonding company. But the sheriff's department has a list of all of the bonding companies that are authorized to write bonds in the county. So I would encourage you to call those bonding companies and tell them what you're charged with and see the best deal that you can get.
One more question. I never got a phone call after, after I get done with court, I never get a phone call. So how would I be able to call my people and let them know that, it's
At some point, they're gonna allow you to use the phones. And it's not like, you know, you go back downstairs right now and demand to use the phone that you're going to get a chance to use it, but it's you will get a chance to use the phone. The sheriff's office has their own internal processes, procedures that they do as it relates to that. So, but they will allow you to use a phone. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? You want to represent yourself, or you want to hire your own lawyer?
I never did anything like that, so I'm gonna just, you know, take it how we taking it, you know. I don't know if you understand, but I ain't never.
No, I didn't. So is it, are you gonna hire your own lawyer? You're gonna represent yourself, or you're gonna?
How would it be if I represent myself?
Well, I mean, typically they always say that the person that represents themselves has a fool for a client. So I'm a lawyer and I wouldn't represent myself. I would always rely upon the legal advice of someone else. You do qualify for the appointment of lawyers, so I can appoint a lawyer to represent you if you want, but that'll be your decision.
And would it be a better chance for me, or just what would you think?
Well, lawyer will give you the best chance to get through this stuff and not get yourself caught up. But again, it's your decision.
You think a lawyer can get me out today?
Well, bonding company will get you out today. I've already given you a bond. So lawyer's not gonna factor in today, but your charges, that's what a lawyer is gonna deal with you or help you.
Okay. No,
So,
I'm good on the lawyer, but thank you.
Okay, no problem. Is there anything else that you want to know or have any other questions of me, sir?
I just want to say I just want to see my son at the end of the day. It ain't, you know.
Well, the longer we sit here and talk, the longer you go from seeing your son. But my job is to answer your questions.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
I'll see you later.
Have a good day.
State your name. Bruce Matthias.
Mr. Matthias, you've been charged with 1 count of family violence battery, 1 count of cruelty to children in first degree. The bond is going to be set for both of these offenses at $5,000. The cruelty to children in first degree is a felony offense. So I've set a preliminary hearing date for March 10th at 8:30 in the morning for that. Do you believe you can post this bond, sir?
Today, yeah.
Okay.
Hold on,
Sorry, it's total bond is $10,000.
Yeah, it was 2 charges.
2.
Damn.
Yes. And they were both by warrant, so it means someone went and sought a judge out to tell them. Like, do you plan on hiring your own lawyer representing yourself, or you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
I'm trying to hire a lawyer.
You're gonna hire your own lawyer?
Yeah, they don't know.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me, Mr. Matthias?
I guess I will get all the questions I need by my lawyer.
Okay, you're free to go back, sir.
Okay.
Go ahead. So come up and tell him your name.
How you doing, sir? My name is Rondell Matoya.
Mr. Matoya, you've been charged with 1 count of obstructing an officer. I've set the bond at $1,000 for that. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
I believe so, sir.
Okay. I've also set a preliminary hearing date for March 2nd at 8:30 a.m., but that date is going to be waived when you bond out. Do you plan on hiring your own lawyer representing yourself, or do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Do I qualify for appointment of a lawyer, sir?
You do qualify, sir, so I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
How would I be able to get in contact with the lawyer? Do I have to call the public defender's office, or?
Because it's a misdemeanor, the law firm that is going to handle this case is called Lister, Lister, and Holt, Holt. You should be able to find a listing for them in online or you know, well, I was gonna say the phone book, but I'm kind of dating myself by saying that, but you'll probably be able to find that online.
Okay.
They're gonna reach out to you at some point also, but they're gonna get the paperwork today, so they'll know that you've been assigned, they've been assigned to represent you.
Okay, I was asking because I wanted to send them video evidence of everything that happened that day to them for all three of us who got charged that day.
Yes, you should keep everything that you believe is gonna help you and show that to your lawyer, so the lawyer can assist you.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay? Anything else?
No, sir.
All right, you're free to go back.
So come over here, face the wall. Tell me your name, sir.
How you doing, Jay? I'm Jonathan Pope.
Mr. Pope, how are you? You've been charged with one count of obstructing an officer. I've also set the bond at $1,000 for that. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you plan on hiring your own lawyer representing yourself, or do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
I probably, I mean, you could, if you could see if you could get me a lawyer, then that'd be fine, but I'd probably just get me a lawyer.
Okay.
So that's just-
Are you employed now, Mr. Pope?
No, sir, I'm actually up under the label.
Okay.
I do music and everything, and they actually like take care of everything I need, like, you know what I'm saying? So they're gonna be the ones to come get me out of here and everything, so.
Okay. You do qualify, Mr. Pope. I'm going to appoint a lawyer. However, if you choose to hire your own lawyer or whatever, just let them know and you can move on with your own lawyer. Okay? Any questions of me, sir?
No, sir. The only question I have, do I have to pay that $1,000 today, or I can do go through the bonding company?
You can go through a bonding company.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right, have a good day.
You too. You're Mr. Reese?
No, sir, it's Ronald Ross.
Okay.
Mr. Reese bonded out, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, sir. You've been charged with 6 offenses. Reckless driving, the bond is going to be set at $500 for that. Fleeing from a police officer, the bond is going to be set at $2,000 for that. Improper lane change, the bond is automatically set at $500 for that charge. You've also been charged with driving under the influence of alcohol. The bond is going to be set at $5,000 for that. And you have 2 other misdemeanor offenses, open container, and it says occupier moving house trailer, but I think it appears to be, honestly, that's the first time I've ever seen that charge, but it appears to be unsafe operation of a vehicle is what they're trying to say. So you have a total bond of $9,000. Do you believe you can post that bond, Mr. Ross?
In full?
Well, you can go through a bonding company, or you can pay the full amount. So, or you can put up property. So those are your options.
Yeah, I'll probably, I'll bond out.
Okay. Do you plan on hiring your own lawyer representing yourself? Or you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
You can appoint me one if I qualify, and if I find a new one, I'll just let them know.
Okay, you do qualify, sir, so I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
I'm just confused about the last one, pulling a trailer.
Well, it looks like it's saying essentially unsafe operation of a vehicle is what it looks like on the warrant. On the bond order, which is something that is separate, it sometimes has a different different language. But in this, they're saying that you operated a 2014 Nissan Altima in an unsafe manner. You observed driving the vehicle on Airport South Parkway with one functioning tire is what they are saying. So that's, and I'm just telling you what it says.
I don't have a 2014 Altima.
All I can tell you, Mr. Ross.
Oh yeah, I got you.
Yeah, these warrants were like sworn out by police officer on,
Sometime in 19.
well, it was January 29th of 2020 is when these warrants were actually sworn out. So it's been pending almost a year now.
Yeah, I believe it started in Riverdale.
And
It doesn't show that, like the previous court dates.
it has your address as somewhere in Riverdale. But it said that this supposedly occurred on January 20th of 2020. So it's been a year. It's been a year since they said this occurred.
Okay.
So if that helps you to kind of zone into what they could be talking about.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Any other questions, Mr. Ross?
Would you say 9,000?
Yes, sir.
No, that's about it.
Okay, you're free to go back, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Tell me your name, sir.
Whitfield, sir. His last name is Whitfield. Mr. Leonard Thomas bonded out.
Okay, thank you. Whitfield, you're charged with 1 count of burglary. And I've set a bond at $10,000 for that. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Yes, sir.
And I I've set the bond at the amount that is set because they're saying that you apparently was supposedly in the building for more than 2 weeks. So it looks like there's some other extenuating circumstances going on with your case. I've also set a preliminary hearing date for March 10th at 8:30 in the morning. That's going to be over Zoom call like we have here today. Do you believe, do you plan on hiring your own lawyer representing yourself, or do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
See if I qualify, sir.
You do qualify, Mr. Whitfield, so I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Okay, Judge Gardner, we're done. You have a good evening.
Thank you. You have a good evening also.
Got any questions before we go? You got everybody to bond, right?
Yeah, you've answered those along the way as the people that are out the bond that I didn't have marked. So thank you for